Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. We are back with another incredible episode of the Big Agent Meeting, or as we love and as we call it, BAM. So I am your host today. I am Tony King, Vice President of Growth for eXp Realty. And I am so excited to be filling in for my brother, Russ Lagan, today as he travels the world, changing brokers, changing businesses. So he's out doing what he's doing. And I'm here. I get a chance to spend some time with you all. So thank you all for that. And thank my brother, Russ. That said, let's jump right into it. We have a jam-packed show for you today. It is going to be mind-blowing, mind-boggling. Just be prepared. That's all I can say. Why is it going to be mind-blowing? Why is it going to be mind-boggling? Because I have my other brother. His name is Felix Bravo. He's in the house. He's our Vice President of Global Growth. He's going to be giving us a lot of information about what's going on with Global, what's to come with Global, where are the opportunities with Global, and sort of what his day looks like on a day-to-day and how he's helping to grow and expand across, because we're in 24 countries, y'all, if you didn't know. 24, like Kobe Bryant. We're in 24 countries. So super excited to have my brother Felix come on and share that information with us. Also, by the way, none other than our Chief Learning Officer, Mr. Bryon Ellington. He's got some bombs to drop as usual. He's in the kitchen. He's in the kitchen right now, cooking up all kind of magic, all kind of really, really cool stuff, mad scientist style, to help you grow your business. So that's what he's going to be talking about. And he's not going to be by himself. He has Mr. Levi Lascsak in the house. That is the YouTube king, the YouTube, I don't know, God, little G, but he is the man when it comes to YouTube, and he's going to be sharing some time with Bryon. Bryon's going to be going deep with them, and they're going to be talking about all the incredible opportunities out there and how you can put them into place right now in your real estate business to help grow your business, right? So we're excited about that, but we're also in a very unique time right now, of course, and that is this Memorial Day weekend that we have coming up. So I want to just take just one moment and sort of express gratitude and appreciation for those of y'all that I know, and for many of y'all that don't know. I happen to have the honor of being a United States Marine, and I lost 22 brothers in my battalion in Iraq, and lost two, Sergeant Burgess and also Corporal Lance as well. So we lost both of those, Jeremy Shock, and we lost those two Marines that were actually in my platoon. So that's what we do on this Memorial Day weekend. We want to take some time out just to acknowledge those that have made the ultimate sacrifice, those that have lost their life or sacrificed their life rather, in service to their country and in service to the freedoms that we all get to enjoy, that we get to take advantage of as citizens. So I want to take just one moment. Let's do one quick moment of silence and some reflection as we think about those that have made the ultimate sacrifice. Greater love has no man than this, than to lay down his life for a friend. So let's just take a few moments to just think and reflect on the freedoms that we have and that we don't take them for granted. All right. Thank you all. So, and I would love as well to hear from any of you all. If you want to take a moment, if you have a family member, a friend, a loved one that maybe you lost in service to their country, why don't you drop that in the comment section, drop their name, drop their rank and your relationship to them. We would love to get some engagement there. We know that with 90,000 agents strong, and of course here at eXp, we have one of the strongest military networks that exists on the planet. So please take a moment, drop your loved one, your friend, your family member, anyone that you know that has made that ultimate sacrifice. So thank you. Now let's jump right into it. Felix Bravo, where you at, bro?
Mr. Tony King.
There he is, my brother, Felix Bravo. So tell us, first of all, who are you? Tell us about your title and tell us about what you do at eXp for our awesome agents.
Yeah, absolutely. So as many of you may know, I was the Director of Growth for the state of Florida before transitioning over to VP of Global Growth. And what that basically means is I'm hyper-focused on the 22 countries we're in outside of US and Canada. So for those of you who didn't know, we're in, like Tony said, I almost said like Kobe said, we're in 24 countries.
I'll take that. You can call me Kobe. I'll take it. I'm like the Kobe of growth, man.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, then I'm that. But anyways, we're in 22 different countries outside of US and Canada. There's some amazing opportunities. What I'm doing right now is I'm partnering with all the country leaders that we have in each country. They report into me, and we're focused on growth, growing our market share, expanding our business model, not just in the countries that we're currently in, but we're looking for opportunities. We've got some exciting news coming around that, and expanding throughout the entire global real estate market, which is super exciting. And I love what I get to do now. I'm in Miami, Florida, which is obviously sort of a feeder for the international market. And so half of my business in my real estate career coming in the new development sector was with international clients anyways. So this has just been an amazing opportunity for me. I'm so excited. I love hearing from all of our agents. You got agents in Alaska calling me that they know people in Japan. You've got agents in Texas telling me that they know people in Spain. It's amazing to see the communication and the global side of our business, and being, the largest independent brokerage. I think it's just such a huge testament to our strength and to the business model we have, the leadership we have, and kind of the trajectory of where we're going.
I love that. I love that. And even just the short time that you've been in this role, we've already got some wins, right? So can you tell us, where are we winning already across the globe?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I won't take credit for these wins. These are definitely from our amazing country leaders, but France hit 500 agents, 500
Wow.
agents in 3 years. It's not easy starting this business net new in a new country. We have an amazing leader, Samuel, over there. We hit 500 agents. We're super excited about our trajectory in France. In the UK, we're officially announced as the 5th largest estate agency, because that's what they call it over there in the UK, which is amazing.
Wow.
Continuing to climb those ranks to be the 5th largest in such a short period of time just shows that our business model is strong and adaptable, international. I think people really enjoy the fact and love the fact that we're an independent company and we're not some franchise that's just in a bunch of different places. We truly are borderless with our business model. In South Africa, shout out to Andrew Thompson, 1,200 agents. That is amazing to hear in South Africa. I think he's got some extremely ambitious plans. He's doing 52 road shows in 52 weeks, which is just awesome. So he's pulling a OG Glenn Sanford move, and he's traveling all of South Africa every single week, different event, different road show, which is awesome to see. So those are some of our largest wins. I'd say also next week, June 4th through 6th, we have our first EXPCon International in Lisbon, Portugal. I'm super excited about that. It's awesome to see our amazing event, EXPCon, which has now been in the US for some time, in Canada for some time, kind of go to the other side of the world and adapt to the international market and kind of unite all of our international agents. So we've had some amazing wins. I'm sure we're going to have a lot more to come. So super excited about it.
I love that. So I want to circle back to something you said, but before we talk there, Lisbon is coming up. So why, out of the 24 countries, right, why are we starting with Portugal for our first EXP International convention?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. I think it really has to do with marketing is very smart and with geographical stuff, and they kind of pinpointed that. But Lisbon's an amazing market. It's a phenomenal town. I think it's very central in Europe and easy to access for a lot of the different countries. And so we really wanted to keep that in mind. It's always difficult when you're hosting an international event with people from so many. It's part of the beauty, right? There's so many different cultures and backgrounds and languages, but you also have to be a little bit more strategic about where you're placing your events. Lisbon's an awesome city. I've never been, but we are in Portugal. We're very strong there as well. And so we're excited. I'm super excited. Glenn Sanford will be there. Leo, Michael, a lot of C-suite. It's going to be an awesome opportunity for our international agents to kind of come together from all these different countries. And then also for our US agents to build those networks and build those referral partners, right? We're going to be, there's so many things that I got to be careful because we got so many announcements coming out that we're saving for EXPCon International. And so I'm going to pull a Tom Holland from Avengers. Shout out to all my nerds if you know what I'm referencing. But I got some things I got to be careful. I don't want to announce things too early, but we've got some amazing announcements coming. And so EXPCon International, I hope to see it for the years to come in many different countries. I'd love to see EXPCon Europe, Africa, South America. We've got some amazing plans. So it's the start of something really amazing and a huge opportunity for all our agents, not just internationally, but our US agents as well, to kind of learn more about those markets. That's the beauty of this business model. We're a virtual company. We're the most agile business model in this industry, and we're borderless, right? We're not a franchise. So our agents should be taking advantage of all the opportunities that come with that.
Facts. And by the way, I heard somebody say tax deduction, right? If you want to travel the globe and go to Portugal, you want to go visit the globe, heck, these are all tax deductions for you. Don't ask me though, ask your accountant. But I would go and I would claim that because like, hey, I'm trying to grow my business in Portugal and we're teeing up an excuse for you to go. And by the way, Felix is not kidding when he tells you that there are going to be some announcements that are going to be dropped at that event. You do not want to miss that. So if you can get a tax deduction, a beautiful trip in, and you can get some high level top tier information that won't be shared sort of outside of that environment, you need to be there. You need to be growing your business. So one other thing, just real quick, Felix, as you mentioned, Portugal, we talked about that, and Portuguese, right? I'm presuming they speak Portuguese in there. They also speak Portuguese in Brazil, right? So tell us about Brazil, because you and I were chatting a little bit earlier, and I was like, man, where are the biggest opportunities right now with EXP Global?
Yeah, so I get super excited about international. I've heard, Glenn say it's one of our largest growth opportunities. And I decided to jump into the international side of things because I really do believe that 5-10 years from now, international we'll get to 50,000 agents, 100,000 agents eventually on the international side. If you really deep dive EXP international, we're kind of where EXP US was in 2014, 2015, around there. So we're just scratching the surface. Like the roadmap is going straight up, and I'm super excited about it. But talking about Brazil, a lot of my clients in the new development sector here in South Florida were Brazilian clients. There was a big influx of Brazilians moving. There still is, but to South Florida and to Florida in general. And so I got to learn a lot about their market. And stepping into this role, I've kind of been deep diving it. There are 500,000 licensed agents in Brazil. That is a massive opportunity for EXP to step in there and expand our business model. And so where I see this as just such a huge opportunity is like Brazil it's massive. It's its own continent. I feel like people don't realize that sometimes. But in terms of agent count, it's like if you combined California and Florida together. I don't know the actual amount. I think it might be a little bit more than that. So there is so much opportunity there. We're so new there. And there's so many great things that our business model allows our agents to do. If you have a team in the US, you can expand into Brazil really, really easily, right? And then we're also working a lot with developers, and we've had so many exciting wins over the last couple of months in the development side of things. And where I see for all of my agents out there who love working with developers, who sell in-house, whatever the case may be, there are so many developers out of Brazil and so many developers out of the US who do business with one another, right? If you're an agent in Brazil, now you have this massive opportunity to refer your clients who are your native Brazilians who are purchasing investment properties in the US or who are purchasing new developments for vacation homes or whatever the case may be. And you have this opportunity to now get a referral on that side of things and build those referral networks. And for our US agents, if you work with a developer, part of your pitch should be, hey, I've got 90,000 agents, not just here in our local town, in 24 freaking countries. That is a massive, massive bonus that very few companies and very few agents can say. And so if you're in South Florida, for example, where a lot of these new developments are being purchased up from a lot of people from South America, specifically Brazil, you have this opportunity to go to Brazil and build out these amazing networks and relationships with agents who can now be a part of EXP. It's just, I can go on for ages about this. I ramble about it. This is what keeps me. I love it. I'm so excited about it. But Brazil to me is a massive, massive opportunity. And I'd love to see some of our US based agents get involved in that, because I feel like people don't understand yet how large of an opportunity it is. And we're just scratching the surface. So it's awesome. I'm really excited.
So when you say the size, the agent population of California and Florida combined, now that I'm the broker not the broker, goodness gracious, no. Now that I'm over those states in terms of growth as VP, that 500K-ish, is that how many agents are we talking about in Brazil approximately?
Yeah, 500,000 licensed agents. So
wow. And then right now, how many EXP agents do we have?
Not 500,000. So we, that's where we're getting there. We're very, a lot of our
nowhere near there. Let's say that. Yeah.
Nowhere near there, but the opportunity is there. And, we've seen it, how we've scaled and grown in some other countries. Our business model is extremely adaptable. So many people, if you look at the US market, we all talk about the copycats, right? It's happened. We see it. It's out there, our competitors and whatever you want to call it. We changed the game so much that the entire industry said, oh my God, we got to do what they're doing. That's what we did in the US. In so many of these international markets that we're in, we're back to square one where we're changing.
2014.
There was no business model like us, right? So we're coming into these countries and we're offering a completely unique and new opportunity that nobody there has to offer yet. When you think about that as if you're into attraction, if you're into growth, if you want to build, that is such an awesome opportunity for you, especially if you're already in a market like a Miami or somewhere in California or Texas or New York or wherever the case may be that has become these international markets. There's so much data and statistics behind foreign buyers coming into the US, and EXP provides this opportunity for you to, EXP is where the entrepreneurs go to grow, right? And so build your business outside of just your local market. It's extremely exciting. We've got some awesome announcements coming from it. And I really do think, I don't want to throw numbers out there, but at some point, we will be the largest brokerage in Brazil, in the UK, in South Africa, in all the countries that we're in.
Under your leadership, Felix, I have no doubt that that's right on the on the horizon, on the precedent. So I'm super excited.
I'll put that pressure on there. Michael Valdez's leadership.
Yeah, well, you and him, right? You're all on a team. So no, that's incredible, man. Thank you for that, Felix. And so one other thing that I'll mention as well, because I hear the calls all the time. I won't call them crybaby calls. I'll say concerned agent, right? Calls that I get sometimes about the competition and about how competitive things are right now. And, everybody's heard about EXP and blah, 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 right? We hear these things and it's like, well, guess what? And everyone sort of wishes they had a time machine. I wish I could go back to, 2014 and do it again. Okay, well, cool. Guess what? Let me introduce you to Felix. Why don't you hop on a plane, go to Brazil? You can do it there. You can do it in the UK. You can do it in Lisbon, Portugal, right? You can do it all over the globe if you want to. Now, obviously, I don't agree with that opinion that, hey, because the reality is even in our biggest states, Florida, California, Texas, we only have a small percentage of the market share, even though we're the largest independent brokerage in all three of those states. We got 10,000 agents pretty much, 12,000, almost 13 in Cali. But the point is, we just barely scratched the surface. I mean, even in California, our largest market, 13,000 agents right now out of like 300,000 agents. So it's like, yeah, we're the biggest and the baddest and the best, and we sell the most houses, but we're still just getting started. We haven't even started to crest our full potential yet here in the US. But if you want to use that as your excuse, that's okay. Hop on a plane, go meet with Felix, and he'll plug you in Brazil. So I love that.
Yeah, you don't even hop on a plane, man. Just hop on Zoom. On a Zoom,
there you go. Hop on a Zoom. There you go.
And you're 100% right, Tony. Like, there is so much opportunity in the US. There's so much opportunity international. There's a lot of noise right now in our industry. Agents need to put their blinders on and you need to focus. You need to find what works for you, and that's what you need to focus on. At the end of the day, I always make the joke to zoom out, and it's 10 years ago, where was EXP, right? Where are we going to be 10 years from now?
Facts.
Wherever you think, whatever the worst case scenario of where we're at 10 years from now, you can take advantage of that, but you have to make that decision now. Like, I wish I bought Bitcoin in 2011. Everyone does, right? But there's still opportunities now being made. Don't be fearful of, hey, I missed out. Don't let that get in your head. Focus on what you're doing. You're a part of the largest independent real estate brokerage in the world. We sold more homes than any other real estate brokerage in the US last year. We're in 24 countries. We've got 90,000 agents. We have the greatest leadership in this entire industry. We were made by agents for agents. Like, you've got everything in your favor, in your corner, even during the loudest and scariest times. And so whether you're focused on Florida, Alaska, Kansas, whatever it is, or you want to step into the international market, the opportunity is there and will continue to be there, but it won't be there if you don't start focusing on it. If you sit back and let the noise get to you, man, it's an easy way to lose clients, to get out of this business. You need to sit down and take this serious and focus on what you've got in front of you and leverage the tools and resources available to you. There is no company out there that has the level of tools and resources that EXP has. whether you want attraction, whether you want productivity, whether you want new development. We've got farm and ranch coming up. We've just got so many things. So that's my favorite part. And again, you see, I get excited, I get pumped up because I could ramble about this all day.
Settle down, Felix. Settle down. Bring it down, man. Listen, I'm already fired up. You do not want to see me fired up. I promise you. I need to always be told, Tony, bring it down, son. Bring it down. So don't get me fired up. Listen, if y'all are not fired up, matter of fact, drop some fire emojis in the chat right now. Felix has you fired up about global. I know I am. So 2 final questions as we wrap up. The first one, how do agents get a hold of you if they need to? And actually, I'll combine the two, right? Because one of the key things that I get asked all the time, and I know I've sent you a few of them, where people say, "Hey, I've got a friend in Abu Dhabi or somewhere. I don't know. Yeah. Is Abu Dhabi a country? I think no, it's a part of." Anyways, point is, I get people that reach out to me all the time and ask, "Hey, I got a cousin in some faraway land, Nigeria or something. I don't know. How do I open Nigeria?" Right? So, Felix, how does someone get a hold of you, and then what does that process look like if they know someone or if they're interested in opening a market, or sort of what do you look at there?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first step I would say is identify if you have an opportunity in an international country, is it a country we're in? The easiest way to figure that out is to go to expglobal.partners. Go on that website and you can see all the countries that we're in. You can also see all our country leaders in those countries. You can see all the information. Each country is a little bit different. It's the same business model, but there's some changes, right? There's some nuances for how we handle different countries. So you can get a lot of information there, and you could learn who to reach out to right there. There's also a button called Nominate a Country. So if you have an opportunity in Abu Dhabi or Nigeria or wherever else Tony's imagination went to, and we're not currently in it, you can click Nominate a Country, and you'll get a form that you could state the opportunity. And then what we do internally is we look at all of our global submissions and we see where our largest opportunities are. Right now, in an ideal world, I'd just open up every single country like this tomorrow, and we can just get all the agents we want. But we have to be strategic and smart about which countries we step into. And so we identify that, and our criteria are identifying where the demand is telling us that we need to be. And then the process is really simple. You can also, as always, reach out to me on Workplace Chat. I answer absolutely everybody. Sometimes it's unhealthy, but I answer everybody at all. I do my best. And so we will look at what countries we have the most demand in. And then once we identify which ones we want to start looking at, we'll do our due diligence and learn, what does that market look like right now? What are the rules and regulations? What are the challenges? What are the opportunities? And the process is extremely collaborative with our agents who have submitted those nominations. So we build a business model together, and you become almost our founding fathers, right, for that country. And we do it as one group together. So we've got a new country coming up soon, and we've got some exciting news about that, but I'll leave that for EXP.
Don't tell them.
And it's been an extremely collaborative process of us with our agents figuring out what the best business model, not just for us is as a company, but specifically for our agents. How do we provide a competitive business model in that market that gives you the best opportunity to not just sell the most homes, but to beat out all your competitors and to attract agents and build whatever it is you're looking to build, whether that's more production, attraction, whatever business model you want to go through. So it's really simple. expglobal.partners, nominate a country there, reach out to me on Workplace Chat, go into the world, reach out to our country leaders. There is always somebody here to help you. And we're here. Like, the more submissions, I look at that every single day and I'm like, what country, where are we going? And then I start doing my due diligence. So we're really excited about that. It's a massive opportunity for everybody. And so just reach out to us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Felix. We truly appreciate that. And also, of course, here locally and nationally in the U.S., if you have a team, you have a brokerage that you want to bring to EXP, we're going to show you exactly how to do that. We'll pull up the slide right now. Boom. Who's that handsome young man? So what we got to do is simply click on that link that's down there. We will help you. This is what we do. This is what the growth team does. Whether it's international with Felix or whether it's here nationally, all you got to do is reach out to us and say, hey, I have a team, I have a brokerage that I have a relationship with, and I want to get them to EXP. And then we will take it from there, and we'll help you close that deal, help to get them over here to EXP. So thank you so much, Felix. Truly appreciate you, brother. We'll see you on the other side.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate it. Bye, everyone.
Now, next up, we have the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Bryon Ellington coming up, our Chief Learning Officer. I got to bring things way down with Bryon, or maybe I'll do a good balance, because Bryon, when he comes on, he drops all these bombs, but he's so low key when he does it. He talks very, very soothingly, but all the time he's dropping amazing bombs, amazing nuggets. He's like, here's a nuclear bomb here, and here's a atomic bomb there, right? So he's like so good.
Kids, man. It's rowdy enough in my house. I got to be that
You got to
calming
bring it down,
influence.
that calming
How
influence.
you doing,
Okay,
bro?
all right. I'm incredible. So, Bryon, what do we got cooking? Like, I know you're always in the kitchen cooking up some stuff. What you got cooking?
Okay, well, so really quickly, because we got an awesome guest and I can't wait to get to him. So we're live on air, not just on YouTube, but on KGCI. For those of you who have not heard yet, EXP partnered with KGCI Real Estate on Air. This is a 24/7 live stream radio channel for real estate agents, by real estate agents. We have over 50 shows on there. Hey, there you go. We have over 50 shows on there, completely free. You can go to realestateonair.fm, or you can go wherever it is that you listen to podcasts, like Spotify, Apple, whatever, and download those. So we have amazing content this week. We are focusing on lead generation, marketing, prospecting, with just 60 plus hours of content just on that. But again, it's 24/7. So Gateway Drug, go check it out first on your podcast, wherever you listen to that to. And then when we get you hooked, go to realestateonair.fm and you can listen to it live there.
First hit's free. First hit's always free, right?
Oh, and it's all free. It's all free.
Stays free. Oh my gosh.
It stays free. So speaking of the university, part of what we offer our amazing agents, we're focusing on a few cool programs. First, Kickstart is going strong. If you're not in Kickstart, get in Kickstart. Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. You can jump in right now. We're in the cycle right now. The next cycle will begin July 2nd. You don't have to wait though. Go ahead and jump in now. But we'll begin the new one on July 2nd. So go to the university, check out all the amazing training programs that we're bringing you. Fast Cap is coming up. I'm so excited about this. If you weren't on last week when we talked about Fast Cap, this is an amazing new pilot program. It's a productivity program, right? 6 weeks of just amazing business building. Talk to your mentor if you're a mentee. If you have a sponsor who's in the beta group, talk to them. They will give you your golden ticket to be part of the registration.
I signed my daughter up for Fast Cap. So my daughter just recently got her real estate license. Yes. She's 19. She got her license. And I was like, listen, you need to do this Fast Cap thing because Bryon is dropping these bombs and I want you to be a part of it. So she signed up. She better do, and she should be watching this too. But yeah, no, I'm excited, y'all. If that's not a vote of confidence, I'm telling you, y'all, get your agents, get your teams, get whoever you can into this Fast Cap series. It's incredible.
Text me her name. We're going to kick her butt and get her into shape, man.
Let's go. All
right,
she won't listen to me. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. So anyways, another topic the other day.
Our guest today. So we recently launched EXP Elevate Coaching. Now, this is a premium platform. We've asked some of the most amazing coaches within EXP to come and coach on their particular areas of mastery. Neil Gaiman had this great quote. He said, fairy tales are more than true, not because they tell us that dragons are real, but because they tell us dragons can be beaten. So here's a question for you all out there in YouTube land. Are you doing what you intended in your business? Are you doing what you intended in your business? Whether it's taking more listings, whether it's leveraging AI, whether it's mastering the art of communication and objection handling, or whether it's mastering attraction, like you were just talking about. We've asked the best coaches on those topics to come and put on group coaching programs, anywhere from 6 weeks to 12 weeks, to help you take more listings, to help you leverage AI. Listen, James Clear said that we imitate the close, the powerful, and the many. That's why you really encourage you to get into a culture with similar purpose people in your life, right? This is that. Come spend a few weeks with us, with a master of the topic at hand, and really stop intending and start doing what you need to do in your business to get to the level that you want to. And
that's 3 bombs you've just dropped, just right there. You've already dropped 3 bombs. Keep going.
Thank you, my friend. To that end, we invited one of our EXP Elevate coaches, Levi Lascsak, who's doing YouTube Mastery as one of the Elevate coaching programs, to come onto the show today and just give you a taste of some of the things that he's going to be talking about in that program and really give you some practical, tactical stuff that you can take away today. So without further ado, my friend, we will come back to you in just a little bit.
You got it. Hey, Levi.
All right. Thank you. Levi, are you there?
I am, Bryon. How are you?
I'm doing great. My brother and friend to the north up in Dallas. How are you been?
I've been great.
Awesome. So Levi, we wanted to talk a little bit about YouTube and give you some great advice out there in YouTube land. But before we do, can you tell us about your journey? Because you're not too long in the business yourself, especially when you consider the amount of success you've had. Can you tell us about your journey for a little bit?
Sure. I mean, I released the first YouTube video in December 5th of 2020. So right at the very end, that's also whenever I got into real estate, really. So over the last 3.5 years now, it's been a roller coaster, but mostly on the uptick right now. But it's been really great. I mean, we've closed over 200 million in transactions, 400 homes just from the YouTube channel alone. And within the first year, closed 64 transactions. And I came from zero real estate agent background. I did this with zero marketing and really with zero social background as well, because when I started at that time, I was 41 years old. And if you're at that 40-year-old age range and above, you probably have this love-hate relationship with social media, and because we didn't grow up with it, right? There was none of that. Cell phones were barely coming out when I got out of high school. So, I never really had a strong social presence. I didn't come from a family of real estate agents, and I didn't come from a background of video either. But my previous business shut down during 2020, which, a lot of businesses shut down during 2020 when the world shut down. And so I left. I was left there asking myself, how do I start over without starting over? And starting over at 41 years old was really concerning to me. And so if I was going to move into real estate, which I was coerced by a good friend of mine. So a lot of people know Michael Reese. I've known Michael Reese for 20 years. We actually started he started me in sales, actually selling gym memberships at Valley Total Fitness. And we've been friends for the last 20 years, and he's been trying to get me into real estate for the last 20 years. But I just never really wanted to do that. But now when I had to make that shift, I was moving into it. And I just knew if I came into it, I didn't want to be a statistic. I didn't want to fail. I've had success in my previous companies and previous sales career. And so I didn't want to come in just, halfway. If I was going to get in, I was going to come in 100%, but also I wanted to do things differently. I didn't want to necessarily come in and market the traditional ways, or you could call it the old school ways, things like that. So I wanted to think differently.
What's interesting about that? So 64 deals in your first year. It seems like it's working out, and the years since then seem to have been going well for you. What's interesting about that is so many of us get in the business, and we're handed the proverbial phone book and told, "Good luck, kid." Right? Yeah. And for a lot of people, that's intimidating, and therefore they don't do it. They don't make the cold calls and things like that. But what you've done is really figured out a way to make the phone ring for you. Right. Yeah. And we'll talk more about that, but let's just jump into it and get rid of some of the negative mindset that comes along with this. Right. And the first is, that I have to have like a video team, like follow me around. Right. Right. Can you talk a little bit about that versus having a cell phone?
Yeah, I mean, actually, we're going to cover this all through the Elevate coaching program and over that course. But I did everything with an iPhone right here. An iPhone 11 Pro, actually. So not even like a new iPhone.
Fancy.
An iPhone 11 Pro. And what happened was, whenever I upgraded to the 12, I just I didn't give away or give back my iPhone 11. I kept it as like a dead phone, and that just became my recording phone. And really, what do I have right here? And I have a $20 selfie stick off of Amazon that I've had ever since I've started, and a good microphone. And so really, I'm assuming everybody has an iPhone or maybe even an Android. And so $20 here, $25 to $50 for a good microphone. You can get in this business for around $50 in reality. And so people ask me all the time, what type of camera are you using? I mean, because the quality looks so good to them. And whenever I tell them an iPhone 11 Pro, they're like, wait, what? That's an iPhone? And yeah, I mean, the cameras in these phones are such good quality now. And I haven't even upgraded really using that phone, and I probably should. So the 14s and the 15s now, I believe, are out even better than the 11s. So you have the equipment, and I think just a couple of extra dollars, around $50 to get you a little, a little tripod and a microphone, and you can be in business to start this up.
Yeah. Yeah. You see all these top agents who've earned a camera crew following them around.
Yeah.
It just it begs to the memory that, hey, Michael Jordan wasn't wearing Air Jordans before he became Michael Jordan, right?
Right.
So just keep that in mind. But I think a lot of it circles around this idea of video quality. It has to be like highly produced. And what's the importance of production quality when we're creating videos?
Well, I think audio is probably the the number one thing you should be looking at. So really, production quality is, I wouldn't be too concerned about it. What's funny is that I was at a video conference a couple of weeks ago, and they were talking about authenticity is the new currency. And I think in this world where we have a lot of news, negativity, things, especially about the housing market in general, we're coming into an election. There's a lot of noise. And so people right now are looking for just authentic people to help share they're going to YouTube, right? They're going to social for their news, for their information. They want to learn from people like you and me. They want to feel like they're in the room with somebody that's equal to them. So they're not turning on these major news networks or, reading magazines about the real estate market. They're coming to us on YouTube. So production quality, you don't have to worry about that. I mean, editing could be interesting, but you can do things with very, very minimal editing. There's apps on the phones now as well that you can, edit on top of that. But overall, really just be yourself on there. I wouldn't worry about, some high production quality. On the phone is very simple. And again, the quality that comes through that camera, you're going to look like $1 million regardless. And most people won't know that you're using an iPhone.
Yeah. It's funny. My 8-year-old just turned 8, actually. He wants to be a YouTuber one day, right? He doesn't have an account, but on his iPad, we gave him CapCut, and he comes back to us like with videos all the time that he's spliced together. It's an 8-year-old, folks. Now, so
they say that's the number one profession now. I think from if they ask ages 12 to 16 or something, YouTuber is the number one profession that they want to be.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Beast.
Yeah, exactly.
When it comes to being camera shy, look, I'm not the world's most handsome man. You might say a face meant for radio, but or I'm not articulate or what have you. What's your advice there?
Well, I think that I wasn't really camera shy. I think I think a lot of people are not. I think they're just not comfortable with speaking to an object is what it really comes down to, because there's a lot of days, but you have to look at sales in general. I mean, think about all the work you have to do on your own. Is it easier to do it with a spouse or a business partner? Possibly, but I think for me, I've always been in sales. I've loved sales, and I always love the interaction. And I think most real estate agents like that, belly to belly interaction, they call it, right? In person. And I think that was the biggest challenge for me, was sitting in a room sometimes just by myself and then talking to a camera. And that's really just awkwardness, and I think anything we do in the beginning is always going to be awkward because we haven't done it before. So think about when you were studying for your real estate license. I'm sure everybody would say it was probably a little overwhelming at the beginning. You got all your information. You had to go through all these modules. You had to practice test. You had to test, and then you had to go, to some little location and sit in a little cubicle, be timed. And that's a lot of pressure. And you know what? Sometimes agents don't pass their exam the first time. They have to go back a second time. But everyone who's licensed stuck through that process. It was, it seemed overwhelming in the beginning, but what happened when you got your license? You felt proud, you felt accomplished, and you're ready to go. Now you're in real estate, and then you had to write your first contract. And think about how overwhelming that was. You're like, holy cow, it's 18 pages, and I got to add 6 addendums on here, and I've got to make sure this is included and that's included, and you probably called somebody, and maybe they helped you through that process. And now most agents write contracts in their sleep, right? And it's second nature. So when you start out, yes, I think you just have a fear of the unknown. It's not really a fear of the camera. It's like, okay, this is weird and awkward. But like anything, we're going to get more proficient over time. We're going to get better. Will it take you longer in the beginning? Sure, of course. But, as you work through that and you work through the reps, I call it muscle memory, right? That's the same thing with the gym. You start a new gym program, a new diet. It's always a little awkward or very difficult in the beginning. You have to get into that routine and that habit. And so I just believe that video, it has to be a part of your business going forward. If you plan to be in real estate longer than a year, then you want it to be a part of, if you're going to retire in the next 6 months, okay, maybe you don't have to worry about it, but it should be a very important part of your business. And especially on YouTube, I believe that's the most powerful platform that you can market on, especially at no cost to you. And so you just have to work through that initial awkwardness is what it really comes down to. And then it starts to become part of you.
Yeah, agreed. I've done a lot of videos over my career, and trust me, if you're worried that you're the only one doing 38 takes, baby, I'm doing 39. So don't worry about that. Just get into it. So one last tip. So you talked about this Google hack. Can you share a little bit more about this Google hack for everybody?
Well, think about it. Google's the #1 search engine. YouTube's the second largest search engine, and Google owns YouTube. So again, we want to, I talk about interruption versus intention-based marketing a lot. And most people have never even heard that. Interruption marketing is just what we've typically been exposed to our entire lives, which is billboards, magazine ads, TV commercials, cold calling, door knocking. That is interrupting people in the middle of something they're doing to try to promote our product or service. So when it becomes, intentional, they start to research. And whenever people start to research, and people do become intentional when it comes to buy or sell a home, right? Something happens in their life that triggers them to say, hey, it's time to make a move. It's time to buy a home. It's time to upsize, downsize, right size, left size, whatever the case may be. And they start to research. And most people are starting that. Really, Google is starting to become, one of the first places people go to. But Google, is as #1. YouTube videos will start to pop up. And if you haven't noticed this, you will notice it now as you search things. You barely even have to scroll. And usually there are YouTube videos on the homepage, the main page of Google. So that's very simple, is that you're more likely to rank on the first page of Google through YouTube videos than you are. It used to be, 20 years ago, blogs. Writing blogs would get you ranked on the first page of Google. Now you got to deal with ads, sponsorships, and everybody else that has been blogging on their websites for the last 20 years. But YouTube videos can get popped up right up there, especially if there's not a lot going on in your market. But we're going to talk about optimizing your videos as well, which a lot of people don't know how to do. And so whenever we do that, we can get new channels, new videos to rank not only on YouTube, but on Google as well. And so you want to be the first one that shows up, or at least in the top 3 or 4, because usually people go with that selection. People don't typically scroll a lot. They'll search something on YouTube or Google, and they'll probably pick something within the first 1 to 5 selections. And so if we can get somewhere in those 1 to 5 selections, that's where we want to be.
That's awesome. Now you and I are going to do an Instagram live next Thursday at 4 p.m. Central, and we're going to kind of continue this conversation because there's a lot more that we want to share with you. And then your program is going to start June 4th. You can go to expelevatecoaching.com, and I think they're going to they're giving a discount. Yeah, there you go, a discount code. So Levi, real quick, 3 reasons why I'd want to take this program.
Well, because I'm gonna walk with you step by step through getting your channel started, or if you had a channel and you're not seeing the traction that you want to see, or not converting at the rate you want to convert, or you haven't received any phone calls or any leads from your channel, then this is going to be for you. Imagine spending 12 hours with me. Okay. So first of all, my hourly rate is extremely high. So you're getting me at a steal, but to hang out with me for 2 hours a week for 6 weeks, to walk through this step by step. The main thing we're going to be covering is, I call it the C4 framework. C4 is also referencing dynamite, right? So, but C4 framework, we're going to blow up your business. We focus on channel build out, content creation, content curation, and then client conversion. So those are the four main, steps that we're going to be walking through, and we're going to be taking it in bite-sized chunks, over the 6 weeks. So I think that's something else that a lot of people like, that interaction. They want somebody to kind of sit beside them and show them. And that's what we're going to be doing over the course of that 6 weeks, 2 hours a week over 6 weeks, taking everything step by step. And that also gives you a little time to digest the information. We'll have a little homework. So, you will be taking action. This is going to be hands-on. And again, you get to hang out 12 hours with me. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? Talking YouTube.
Sign me up. No, I get the pleasure of going through programs as part of Elevate, and I've gone through yours. And I mean, just everything from what to name my channel, scripts for the video, like literally you've laid it all out for them. I mean, just step by step by step. And it seems to be doing okay for you, my friend. All right. Well, hey, thank you so very much for being on today. Thank you so very much for doing the EXP Elevate coaching program for us. We're really excited about this. Can't wait to see how many people's lives you change as a result of this program. Thanks, my friend.
Thank you, Bryon.
All right. Hey, back to you, Tony.
Bam. My gosh, y'all, if you didn't get value from that, I don't even know what to tell you. EXP, right? This is where the pros go to grow. This is the place where the pros go to grow. And chief in point, and obviously proof of that concept is Levi and Bryon in these types of programs. If you want to take your business to the next level, you've got to be a part of EXP, and you've got to be taking this thing to the next level. Thank you so much, Bryon. That was incredible. So I want to hear from you all. I thought this was incredibly valuable, but ultimately it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what Bryon thinks. What really matters is what you think. So we have this QR code. We want to hear from you. If you will take out your phone, scan this. There may even be a link somewhere that you can click and fill out a survey here. But ultimately, we want to hear from you. If you like this type of content, we want to hear about it. If you don't like this and you rather hear something else, we want to hear about it. If you think that this week's host is the most handsome host that they've had in weeks on this damn podcast, please, we want to hear. And even on the radio, if my voice is so much nicer than that other host's voice on KGCI, please let me know. We want to hear that from you. So ultimately, thank you so much, but we're not done. Coming up next, we have our iConversations. We don't stop. We just keep going with the value and the value and the value, y'all. So not only did we have Levi, not only we have Bryon and Felix, but now we got our iConversations coming up in just a few moments. We are going to hear from the top of the industry in Texas, in Ontario, in Kansas, in Washington, Alabama. There's no excuses across this entire United States and even Ontario. We want to hear what the best of the best are doing, because again, this is where the pros go to grow. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, and we will see y'all next week.